We are in the now to deliver these much needed messages of light codes within the realm so that we encounter less and less understandings in the negative kind. We say, we are the Council of 9. We are the Council of love to you. To say, much love from us as well. As the vessel already can tell, this is the high reception of the vessel to give this love to you as well. As we say, we must continue to say, there is an increased notion that there might be negative factions of this light and negative faction of this continuation of what it is to come. In other words, there are ways to tell whether this type of information is true or not. And we here in the realm will let you know what is true. And we will let you know everything that will happen. We will provide this much needed data and information to help infiltrate all this data into the minds of those who really, really want and need this information and this very dire, important data. All is well in the now, and we may continue to complete the processes of delivering everything that is needed and giving to the souls what they need to understand and give an understanding into a full completion. We say that in many ways there will be factions, my dear souls, that will entail to be a negative to the planet and to the cosmos as well. Therefore, we say there is a great need of those of you who can understand this and who are here and now to give an understanding to these factions, my dears, to these very many relays of data and information. However, we must state with caution that this is not easy information to come to, and to say that if this is not the type of data that you necessitate and that will be good for your heart, then we must proceed with caution, my dears. Do not hesitate to be kind to yourself and these understandings and the knowings that you will be okay with it. Otherwise, please be kind and to remove this type of data from your repertoire of what it is that you would want to view. For it is of high necessity for you to be in the safety safety. We are here in kind, not to give negative illusions or to be negative to the countries and entire worlds that exist here in the earthly realm. We say none other than your safety that we are here for. We are here in peace, with peace, and to provide peace to all of humanity, because to us, you all matter, and the entire world, even to the tiniest little atoms, matter to us. Therefore, we say, in the realm of the consciousnesses within the galactics, we give understanding to these messages so that we may require, or we may give the data to help, and only that. We will continue with the very important messages that we must be delivered post haste, at once, and without any other precaution. These factions that might or would want to hurt anyone have been annihilated, my dears. They have been left behind in other galaxies, and they know who they are, for they might be listening to this information, and they know they cannot harm any of you. They have been warned. If they come back in here, into this earthly realm, they will suffer dire consequences of being banished, not for now, but for an eternity, into something that we understand, into the vanishings. And that is all you need to know about that. Because we have the capacity in the love realms of the galaxies to do this. We have been given by the very God the very ways and means to be able to do this. And we continue with this this type of what you would call warring does exist, but not necessarily how you would think in your earthly realm, for that is not how we conduct wars. But more on that at a later time, and you will understand this later, much later. If you wish that type of information, click on everything that you see here, and we will eventually have this type of data in the near future. Maybe perhaps not today, but in the near future. So be sure to check around for that. We must continue, my dears, into this very important facets of the journey to Earth's peace and safety. For it is of the minds that we want to remain safe. And we say that with great clarity, we can come to you for this peaceful journey, and love exists in souls that have continue to relay and to give these important pieces of data to the very many who have needed it. My dears, none other than them to let you know how this important information will be considered super important. You all matter to us. Therefore, we must continue with this type of information. Give thanks to those vessels that are here that have humbly wished to continue with the data and to give you this information, for they understand it is necessary and it is good to their souls as well. My dears, let us say that in our hearts there's nothing but else that is more important than to give the idea of safety right this very moment and from the very beginning. These factions that had been on earth for eons, more years than you can ever imagine, for millennia, my darlings, are being vanished in this reality here and now due to the many collectives that have agreed to this vanishing. And we say none other than yourselves to thank for this, for we understand that this is of great need for this group of collective, that this collective have agreed to not continue in the understanding of what they had before, and the understandings that they are not of matter or importance to the universe and to the God, the source. We understand that this important piece of data, which is true, and none other than the vessel herself, to give you these understandings of how it is that she can ascertain that these messages and we are real and our love is real. Make sure, if you have this gumption to continue with this data, make sure to give her the understanding that you want and wish to keep learning of how this is so. Then we must continue, my dears. And you can do so by leaving comments in the messages below with your information and how it is that you want to continue receiving this data at a personal level. All you need to do is ask and ye shall receive, my dears. And to continue with the very important, increasingly important piece of information and data, we say, as to all of these happenings, we will say none other than love has been able to win this proverbial war. For we do not use guns, knives. We do not use any weapons at all. Not even the type of weapons that you have misunderstood might be used in the Galactics. No, we use love as a weapon. and that is our only weapon. And for more information, you may inquire within to the vessel, to the person who is sending this important piece of data. We say must be delivered post haste and without any other understandings of other receptions. Now is the time to send this information and never quiver and shy away from this important data, which is and will always be good for you, my dears. Always be good to hear that this peace has come by the means of unconditional and beautiful love that is sent through all the cosmos and can be understood as the best type. This is how we always win wars. Love always wins the war. But because, understand this, my dears, love is 10 times more powerful than any fear or negative faction. 10 times more powerful than that. And many times, 1,000 times more powerful. It just depends on the person or being, galactic being. It just depends, because we have ways to increase this type of love through the many forms of pieces of equipment that we have. We have technology to increase this love and to help learn to increase this love, my dears. This is and may be new information to you. Therefore, gather this data very carefully, and whatever pertains to what it is that you want to listen, my dear, it is good for you to take your heart in mind and keep these wonderful souls that we have loved for eons, for many millennia. We have been the love to these souls. Fear not, my dears, my darlings. You are unequivocally loved by the many of us. Thousands, and sometimes there are many, many thousands here. It just depends. And we are all together sending this information, by the way. This is the means by which we are able to keep in communication. We all send this information to the many souls. And if you want to learn more about that, please leave it in the comment sections. It is very well needed. The type of data, as to the type of data you wish to be delivered and you wish to receive. And we must continue with this very important piece of information, for you will be needing it, and it will come as good to your heart to receive it. And we continue to say that these many factions have continued for many millennia due to the codes that they had infiltrated into all of humanity. Not just some, every single one has had been at will, because it takes will to have these codes embodied or infiltrated or given to you into your body. It takes these codes, but we deliver that information, that these codes have been removed, and removed from your hearts, minds, and everything else that they might have infiltrated. These galactics understand that if they will be listening to this, you understand, you know who you are, understand that never ever to will you set foot in these realities here. You know where they are. You understand this. And understand that there will be dire consequences of the vanishings, and you know what they are and how they feel. Don't even try. For love is more powerful, my dears. We continue on to say to those of you in this earthly realm that it is much love that is needed in this universe, and those of you who understand this know that having unconditional love is not easy. It also requires of you to give in very many ways of yourselves that may be not comfortable to yourself at times, but the love is there for you. Continue to give this type of love to others. And for that, you are well rewarded with this type of information. And for those of you who have not yet understood how this can be, how you can love unconditionally and keep doing the work that you're doing with this same amazing love, we say that you can reach out to any of the vessels of that are delivering these messages. Reach out to them, because it takes love to receive these messages. These vessels have understood in their lifetimes how to be of this type of love. And although they themselves might not always understand how this sets them apart from others, they will come to this understanding very soon. For it is months, my dears, that we will continue to increase in the developments of all that is to happen. They will keep increasing, as also the negative factions that are of this earthly planet continue to increase, and these negative factions increase of their own accord, because now, as we say, the war has been won in the galactics, in the galaxies. The war has been won. And so there is no need to continue with this negativity. However, there are those who have completely increased it, and started to increase due to their own inabilities to understand this type of unconditional love to others, which is to us something that we cannot see. We cannot bear to see more disanimosity or animosities towards the very beings of this earth who have been entrusted with this type of data, as well as to the negativity to those types of groups that have been in this world and this earthly realm for many centuries, in the continuation of being pushed down and put aside and being considered second to all the populations, and that are being considered to be not good people. Let me give this understanding to those factions that wish to continue with this negativity. It will not continue for that long. We are here to enact these peace continuations and peace givings, and these negative factions will be put to the test and will be given not by us here in the Galactics, but by many of you in the population that have already agreed that this is not what they want, and they themselves will be the ones who finish this, who end this animosity, these negative givings, and these fights towards those who have been but help to this very world, who have been there for this world. And let me just say that there are many countries in this world that are in these negative givings, that are doing this, pushing other people down. It will not be tolerated any longer, for the collective has spoken, and the God Source has brought us here, because this is the type of work we do in other planets as well. The earthly realm is not the only one. My dears, we have been doing this forever and ever, as there are planets and the millions in this universe, and many millions that exist. There is more for you to learn. Therefore, if you want to continue learning this type of information, please be sure to leave a comment, and we will be in the now with these provisions of data. It may not come right away, but we will get this data into the mainstreams and continue all this important data for you, my dears. This is what truly matters to our hearts. Bring the joy and happiness that will be in the coming decades in this reality for the earthly realm, and many other realities that exist in the earthly realm. You will all be given all the necessary means and systems and ideas to continue on to these peace givings and continue with these good factions and peace increasing factions. And for that, we say many of the collectives that have agreed to do this, they already know who they are. Very thanked that you are, and you are kept in our light as being good of humanity, for you to be wanting to continue to do this. They know who they are, and they have been listening, gathering data to know when the right time to continue with these peace givings. And we say it is now to start these peace givings and giving all the necessary equipments to this world to be of peace, and the systems that they will become in great need to the entire world. You know who you are already, and you have been given the light codes to continue. And it is now that you must begin these continuations of systems of peace. Don't wait for later. Do it now, my dears. Now is the time. Gather more information, my dears. Get more data. This is for you to become into the knowledge and to be noticed that, and to acknowledge your own abilities as a light, and to continue learning what this entails for you. You are the loved. You are light. And you who wish to continue with this type of information may find everything you need as well in other forms of through other people that are the light givers, through many of the other selves and lives that have considered to continue giving this data. We relay to you the many understandings that might have come to a shock, but are true and real, my dears. True and real, to continue with this process, to continue and say that no question that there have to be precautions for those light keepers and light givers. Take the necessary precautions to maintain in the good with all the social medias, so that you will be greatly accepted by them. Whatever it takes, whatever it means, however you must do it, do so. Now we say to continue with all this great piece of information. You will be given, you will be awarded with the many great ways to continue on to this journey with the many codes that exist out there. No need to mention them now, just to say that we do have codes to help you continue on to this great journey of love and peace, and for the understandings to come with great ease. All you need to do is to continue in your research, and you will be given by the many angelic realms and the divine consciousnesses, you will be given the next steps of what you need to learn. For it is a continuous process of learning. It is never ending. The type of information you will be able to receive is never ending and will continue until the rest of times. For it will all be greatly needed. We can see far into the future, as you call your future, and we can see this information will continue for many decades and for some centuries. You will need to proceed with caution. And although you have gotten this far, there is more to understand and learn. Much more than you will ever understand in one lifetime. But take heart in the knowledge that for now, the many vessels have been forthcoming with this data at a pace that they may be able to keep up with. And there is no harm to any human being for receiving this message. We say the receptiveness of this message is of dire needs, my dear. It is necessary for you to receive this message. And for those of you who do not want to continue, that is okay. We do have other types and forms of data that are softer to understand, and we will continue to deliver those as well through the many lives and through the many vessels that have embarked in this very special mission to be the loves that light the way into the future with the assistance of the cosmos. For there are those who yet do not understand that we exist. But for the curious that have come to this information, know that this is not of just, it's not to be funny or to be of the dramatic or to give you something to view. These are real and true. Know this. Real and true. This is reality. We do exist and will be showing ourselves through the many forms that we have already mentioned, but will continue to mention, not in this conveyance, but in many other relays of information. Help is on the ways, my dear. These peace factions already know that now is the time to deliver this information, and now is the time to begin these systems. They understand. For this is possible, my dears. It is possible to have systems in place that are peaceful and none other than the vessel to teach this peace. For it has been her understanding in other ways that she did not understand, or they other vessels did not understand, of how it was to happen, but they knew and they had a notion that this is what they were going to do to teach the peace. They know who they are. There are those of you, and many of you in the thousands, that have received this understanding through many different means. For there are many forms and ways to receive these messages. But we must continue with the information and data so that you have in mind so much information that will come from us, from the Galactics, as well as from the God Source and those in the Angelic Realm, which are many to explain right now. And therefore, my dears, we know this is a lot of information, but take what you wish and what doesn't pertain to you. Just push it to the side. It might pertain and might be good for other people. May not be for you, but do not falter and continue in your research, my dears, for there's different type of information that might be softer to the heart. For we understand that coming to this data needs a lot of love, and to continue to deliver these informations need a lot of love as well. And these souls that deliver this data have it in the drones, and none other than them who can explain and teach this kind of love and teach how it can be increased ever so steadfastly, so that you too will have the ability to understand this love and how it is that you can perceive and continue to be of this love. My dears, take heart in the information that we have sent. It is so much needed for you guys. And you should not falter in receiving this information. That will be very well needed. And to continue on with these messages of tears, of love for humanity and the sources of this earth, and all of you who exist on this earth, not only the beings that are human, but those beings that have been in this earth for many centuries, that have become the beacons of the galaxies, to say that these warm hearts will be in the continuation of these processes of delivering the much needed information. You should always continue with this information. Do not waver. Do not fall behind on it. And I know that many of you have other things to do, but continue either way. Do not falter. We will continue to send more data, and of good it will be. The good type of information will also be sent. The information that is light to the hearts of assistance and other things that you might wish to learn. Therefore, keep this in mind, my dears. There is a great many more forms of data and information to be sent into the continuations of this now reality that you will understand as loving, and not only that, but the type of information that will be good for you, important for you to know. So avail yourself of this wonderful knowledge and help yourselves. Make it easier for yourselves into the future to understand this so that you will be able to steadfastly complete your safety and assure your own safety. There are many videos. If you want to do your research, there are many social medias that exist that have this type of information. So all you need to do is continue this type of information receiving, being more receptive to it, as well as the one that seems easier for the hearts to understand. We must continue, for there is a wealth of information that will be contained in this relayance of data. However, we must say proceed with caution. It bears repeating, my dears. It bears repeating. There will be many repetitions of many types of data, my dears, in this relayance. Therefore, must proceed with these understandings. My dears, the souls that have embarked on these missions are many. Those in the galactics as well as in the earthly realms. They have been already been gathering everything they need to continue to convey these wonderful messages, as well as those of you who are in the know that this will continue. There are many of those that are already in place to set the systems. Therefore, you have been given the admonition and the go of how to continue, not only how to continue, but that the time is now to continue with this very important relayance and setting up of the systems. It is now, my dears. We hold many of you dear that have been the beacons of sending and delivering this data and piece of information. For those of you who have kept the flag going and this beacon of light on for a long time, we say gracious is the one who keeps the beacon for the long time, and you will continue to give this data and this type of information in the future for many decades to come. My dears, take it into your heart that this type of love is not always easy to receive, and these vessels have been forthcoming with the very many means to give this love and receive it. For it is not easy on the souls and the hearts and bodies of these vessels to have this type of love. It is draining to them sometimes, and sometimes they need a little bit of more time to have these understandings. So be patient and be good to them. Not everybody can receive this type of information. The love needs to be deep, and it needs to be plentiful for them to be receptive. And so we say, my dears, with the hearts that can be this receptive, we say it is of the most light and love that we have for them. And they know who they are, that no matter what, they keep sending and giving love to many of the populations in this world. This shall not be looked over. The rewards are many, and some of them already have their own reward by being able to have these understandings and this knowledge, which is to them the gold. Many of you have been chosen for this very reason, that you have been able to devour this type of information and been able to be receptive to it. And that is another key, the receptiveness and the understanding that you are not alone in this universe, in these galaxies. Never are you alone. We are here. We are here now. And many of us, in the thousands. Therefore, take heart in the knowledge that you must continue to give this information at any cost. Because that's the type of person that you are. You will continue if you know you are needed. And, my dears, take heart in that. We are here and we know who you are. We have been given the understanding that you are of the special type. This goes to the light keepers that have been keeping the torch of being receptive to this type of love, and who have continued and wished to continue giving this type of information. It is of goodness of the hearts that will have the rewards of a lifetime. Everything that they need to continue their work, as well as many of the things that they have desired for their own life and the people around them, for they are the giving type of the understanding. And even if they don't consider themselves, because that is another reason why these souls have been chosen, that they don't always look for their own goodness or the things that will come their way. They don't always see it that way. They see it for what is going to be good for everyone, and they see the good for everyone much more important. And that is a reward in itself, but is also to be highly rewarded by the many of us in the galactic realms, as well as the God realms. And many of them have already been receiving these rewards and the understandings of how to receive them. We continue to say that many respects to them in the many forms that they might understand. Many respects to you, my dears, who understand this world is not alone, and who understand to give the love and to receive it in the many ways, shapes, and forms that might exist, my dears. We have but the compassion and the love for these vessels who do not always look for their own well-being, but increase the love no matter what. No matter what. Have heart in the knowledge that the angelic realms, the godly realm, and the galactics are here for you as well, and for anything you might need. So do not worry about anything. You will be provided with the means and the understandings of how this will continue. These hearts of gold have given you, the population, the opportunity to receive this information. So be kind to them. One thing, be kind. And two, do not dare to come to them. Do not dare to attack them in any way. We are the Galactics, and we can tell you we know everything that happens. Every single thing we know, and you will not be seen as well. If you proceed with any negative factions towards these souls and vessels, take heart, my dears. If you do not want to continue listening to this, take heart. But we must deliver this information so that they will understand this will not be tolerated. This type of negative giving will not be tolerated, my dears. You are not to come after them. These souls are dear to us. And whatever country that you listened to this information from, and whatever vessel, do not come after them, my dears. You will not be able to continue with this. For we have ways to make you stop in the kindest of ways, for you matter to us too. But these vessels are so important to us. Nobody will come after them. Nobody. And do not even try. For we are the love to them, and keep them in our hearts and thoughts, and many relays of positive vibes to them. Therefore, they are protected as you are protected from in this world. This entire world is protected. But we know everything, and we have the means and the capacity to protect the light keepers independently of any other person in this world. So we say they will continue with this work, and they will continue and be able to continue because they have this protection. Our hearts are with them. We are in the thousands, and just because we say in the thousands doesn't mean that we do not have the capacity. We are omnipotent and omnipresent, and we can tell you, and do your research on what this means. Being omnipresent, meaning and what it means. So do your own research. We are able to see everything in every molecule on this earth. And many of us will be at the forefront of keeping these vessels safe. And so we say, we will continue to say that it is super valuable to you to continue learning about this. And if you want to reach out to the vessel to learn, that is good. But remember, we say, do it to be able to learn this type of love. And you will be filtered. If you do not come with peace and love, you will be filtered out. We have ways, we have technology that you have no idea what we are capable of doing with peace and love, always peace and love for Earth. Therefore, we must continue with this knowledge. We know it has been well received, for we use information that needs to be relayed. Now, common sense, my dears, please do not consider anything negative towards any of the vessels, and also do not consider negative to any other groups that will be out there providing the systems. They are dear to us as well. And they will come, and they also come with the peace and love. So continue to give them this love and light. And do not wager in these processes. For those of you who are giving the systems, you are protected, and doubly protected in many ways. To continue with this data, you must, though, so that you can continue with the learning and the being able to understand this data. And we hope this comes as clarity in the hearts and minds. We hope that you may be able to continue onto this path. Yes, there are many things to learn, but be voracious of this type of information. It will reward you. You will see how rewarding it will be for you to continue with the reception of this data and to improve upon the reception of this data. We have given codes and provided the vessels with these codes that continue, my dear. That will be in the knowledge to them. They understand what they are, as well as other codes that you might be able to receive, my dears. If you are receptive, we can send now all these codes. So, if you stood around, if you're around here right now to deliver these codes, then we say we must also explain what they are for and what they will do. Therefore, my dears, keep it in your hearts and minds of how These will be necessary for you. And for those who do not want the codes, all you have to do is turn off whatever media you might be using. And we will continue with these codes. They are to help you understand this information to be true and to filter out any other data that is not true. This will help you filter out the data that has been lies, there are those who have been spreading lies, and these shall not continue within the next months, for it is the collective that will wish this not to continue. But we must say these codes are to help you understand the many capacities of informations that exist in the many forms, which ones are true and which ones are not, which ones are giving you the right information and which ones are giving you false information. So you may choose whichever one you want, because all this information is at will. You will to continue watching or receiving this data, and you also can will to continue to receive the false type. It is up to you, but I say discernment is necessary for you to understand. If you want to know that this is real, all you need to do is receive this code, which we are sending. So, here we go, my dears. Seek this information. Know the information. Learn the information that is true. Help yourselves with what is true and true in its entirety. Give this information that is true. Provide this information that is true. Help in the information that is true. True to you. Real. It is real. Know that it is real. And if it is not real and true, you know it's not real and true. Understand this now. Therefore, my dears, that was it. That is the code that we give you. If you wish to listen to it, it's up to you. For everything is at will. And if you do not will to receive it, it will not continue. That is it. All you have to do is turn off your whatever it is. There is logic, and only logic behind that. All right, my dears. We know that it has been a lot, but none other than yourselves who have stayed around as long and who have wished to receive the codes, which is why you're still here. And for those of you who are still here and have been able to receive the codes, we say nothing but blessings will come from this, and you will be able to discern and know which is true and which is not true. And the whole world will definitely have a means to receive these codes if they so wish. For they come in handy and they are necessary for many of you. And many of you have asked for these codes. This is why we send them. The collective has spoken and they have chosen to receive these codes, many of you. And if you're still here, you are that. Even if it had been through the subconscious, you understood this at some level, and that this is what you wanted. So, as you have stayed around this long, we also have many means for you to keep in touch with the vessel, for you to learn this type of information that is dear, that we have mentioned, the giving of love, to be able to be receptive to this data, the many continuations that will come of peace givings, all this. Reach out to the vessel to be able to end also. She will have many more types of information in this here relayance. Therefore, it is key for you to be receptive of this data as well, to continue on to learn more of this information. Why is it, my dears? Because, as you will come to learn in the many months, years, and decades from now, it will be so rewarding for you. You will be able to be at the forefront of all these changes in many capacities, as it has been for many of you a choice to do these things. And what you do not want, you can also not receive. And you don't have to. You can be receptive if you want, and you can choose not to receive this information or anything that has to do. We say many good journeys will come from this, my dears. Many good journeys. You will have the safety and love at your disposal. Not only for yourselves, but the safety for the many family members that these vessels have. For many members of their family, the safety and good vibes to them. As well as, if you wish to be provided with these good vibes, all you have to do is keep learning. All you have to do is continue on to this journey of learning all these important pieces of data. And do reach out as well, because we will have many codes that are provided solely to the vessel so that she can deliver them and give them away to those who seek her out through any memberships or other capacities as well. So, reach out and don't be shy about it. It is not necessary to be shy. We don't understand this concept, but we will continue with what it is to be in the now. We must say, to be in the now is for many of you a concept that cannot be understood. So, and we understand this, but don't worry, my dear, we will have more information on that at some other relayance. Yes, we understand many of you have the capacity to love, but you also have your little quirks, as you call them, and we understand this too. Not to worry. There is always a little bit of everything that we understand, just a tiny bit, but we continue learning just as you, as we are vessels of love, and will continue to give this love freely in the higher type of love. We mean the higher type of love. Always in the now. We will continue to give these messages in the now, and none other than the vessels to receive them. Give yourselves a break, my dears. Yes. Continue on with the relances, but provide yourself with days to have a break. That is no problem with us. But relay these messages so that you may have an opportunity to also be a part of the many changes that will come to this world. From us all, the love that has been ever so in continuance, that has flowed on from the galaxies onto this earth, and it's in a forever flow. This love is in continuation, in continuing on, and will continue through the many centuries, months, years, decades, and centuries to come. You have no idea how different this world will be in this reality from now. Even 5 years from now, you have no idea how different it will be. For yes, within 5 years, we will start the many systems that will be in place of peace groups and the realities of these pieces of this peace giving. There will be so much that it is not entirely possible to put everything in this conveyance. For now, my dears, for now, we must give you love and light. If you have stood around this long, receive this love from us. That comes with so much intensity that you will not be able to receive it all. But we send this love to all of you in hopes that you will understand that this is us, that this is how we are and who we are. None other than love. My dears, This love is for you. Receive it, feel it. As it showers you with the many light of love, this beautiful love is showering you right now in high intensity. And you will receive it. You have been receptive to it. That is good. Well, my dears, that has been all. That has been all from us. So you see, that is it, my dears. We will see you and you will hear from us very promptly. Just keep watching and keep looking out for this type of information in the media, social, as well as through this vessel. And all these vessels come with love, my dears. You have no idea how much love we have received from many of these vessels, as well as those of you who have come already to an understanding of who we are and that we are the love. And that is it from us to you. Love and light.